So today I'm off to Sheffield to visit my friend Max at Bullion Chocolate. Should be fun. So here we are at the Cutlery Works, and this is Max.
How you doing? You alright?
Alright, so could you tell us a little bit about the space, Max?
Yeah, so this is obviously a cutlery factory, and it's been kind of, no one's used it for the last 15 years or so, it's been stripped back, and towards the end of last year we started kitting it out to become the first food hall in Sheffield, and it's got 14 vendors in now. We're based on the ground floor, and we've got our chocolate factory and cafe there, so it's still pretty new, but we'll have a little look around and you can see some of the vendors.
Yeah, cool, let's go.
So we're just getting started for today, so we've got a sneak peek. So we've got Table, which is a wine bar. We've got Foundry, which is a coffee roast that's based here. Five Rivers, which is Vietnamese food. Plenty of seating. So these guys just done a Bolivian coffee, and we obviously do a Bolivian bar of chocolate, so we recently did a giveaway together, which is pretty cool. But some really nice coffee there. Sushi. I'm here every day for lunch pretty much. Yeah. So then you've got a craft beer bar, cocktail bar, and then Shed, which is all plant-based food. That's pretty cool. And then we're going to have a look downstairs. So we've got Fritti downstairs, the first one, so it's arancini balls, gravy train. We're in Sheffield and everyone loves gravy and chips, so it's this Canadian
Everyone
classic.
everywhere loves gravy.
That's it, well there you go. So chips with gravy on with cheese curds, really good. Fin and Bone, which they do really good brunch, and meats in the evening. Jar Bar, which is a new vendor, it's Balkan style food, so it's like grilled meats. Marbarge, curries, mostly it's vegetarian, but we've just launched the chicken one, which is really good. Hi. Which is all vegan and gluten-free items. And then finally, in the corner, we've got Bullion. We've teamed up with a baker called Marmaduke's, and they do all of our bakes for us. So we make an Ecuadorian chocolate, so it's our house chocolate. It's got really just nice deep chocolate notes, so it's perfect for our bakes. So we've got a brownie selection. We do a banana bread with nibs in it. Classic American style cookie. My personal favourite, which is a ginger cookie sandwich, so 2 ginger biscuits with a bouillon ganache in the middle. And then also we've got our drinks as well, so all the hot chocolates are made with the Ecuadorian chocolate. We do a dark milk version and a 70% dark chocolate version as well. And then you can also experience all of our bars as a hot chocolate as well, if you're looking for something a bit more adventurous. So this is a bit of the few of the steps of how we make chocolate there. So it's nice for our cafe staff to be able to introduce some of the customers to that. And then in the evening, we flick it round to the evening drinks menu. So obviously this place is open till 11. It's a big food hall, so we've done some chocolate themed cocktails. So we've got the gold fashioned, apple and old fashioned. So we use local, Spirit of Yorkshire, which is Yorkshire's first whiskey distillery, and we use cocoa bitters in that instead of Angostura bitters. We've also got a selection of fine spirits. We over the years have done a lot of spirit and chocolate evenings, so it's nice to be able to carry that through into our venue here and be able to do, see how our different chocolates pair to each of these spirits. So, we've done chocolate bars with Pirates Grog, like I said, Spirit of Yorkshire. We do tastings with them all the time. So it's just a real nice extension of the offering.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of tastings and events and things?
We do. So, like I said, we've done Spirit of Yorkshire. We've done a lot with them. Last week we just launched one of the local breweries down here. We did a chocolate stout, and to launch it they did a tasting. So, and the finishing one was, we call it Gold Standard. There was only 4,000 pints of it, and it's all gone now. So that's a good start. I actually went into a pub in Sheffield and walked in. I mean, I didn't know where it'd end up, and it was just weird, just seeing Gold Standard there with the Bullion logo made with our nibs that we'd roasted. So it was quite a nice thing to see. So yeah, tastings all the time, collaborations as well.
Fantastic. And you've got a pretty good view outside as
There
well.
you go. So we're going to have a quick look into the factory, but what I will say, we're going to come back to the cafe in a bit where I'm going to be recording you, Dom, and you're going to tell us what you're going to think to some of our bakes and drinks.
I can't wait. I mean, free chocolate.
Sweet. Welcome to the factory.
So this is it.
So,
What happens?
not the world's biggest chocolate factory, but you know, it's
So one of the best.
That's well, yeah. We've got Paul here. You want to wave, Paul? So he started off as a chocolatier. When did we meet? 2 years ago now.
Yes.
And helping me with the process. And now I think about, what was it, 3 weeks ago? You started actually becoming in the bean to bar process. We involved in roasting, taking it off my hands, because you know, like with any small business, you start to grow, you see them get stretched, and one minute I'm, you know, wrapping chocolate bars, the next minute we're doing a collaboration with a cheese factory over the road, whatever, you know, you seem to be...
So you're just living the life of luxury now, or...
I don't know about that. Living the life of Riley. You know, in terms of our process, we've got obviously beans, and then we sort them, which is one of the labours of,
Every chocolate maker has to do it, yeah. So what origins do you have here?
So we currently have, 3 core origins, but we also have the Ecuador origin for all of our bakes in the cafe. Yeah. So the 3 core origins are, we've got Haiti, which is, you know, if you can see it, I actually got this map, we did a tour about 3 weeks after we launched this thing. We started doing factory tours every Saturday, and one of the guys said you needed a map, and he said, I said, well, I'm going to have to go out and grab one. He said, well, I've got an antique, and he said, come and see me, and I'll look after you. So I went. I don't think he thought I'd go. And then I rocked up. I said, I'm here. Where's my map, sort of thing. And he says that he'd been travelling around France and found an old book with about 20 different maps in from an old French school. And we found this page, pulled it out. And he said, there you go. And I was like, how much do you want for it? He said, it's fine. You can have it, but anyone that comes in your factory, you have to tell them where you got your map from. So there you go. Now you know. So we've got 3 origins. Haiti, just up here, and we've got Guatemala, which is just there, and then Bolivia, which is, you know, just here. So
So all Central, South America.
that's, there you go. Yeah. You know, I mean, we've done the same 3 bars since we launched. You know, 2.5-3 years ago. And that's kind of been a vehicle, because they all are very distinct in flavour profile. It's allowed us to, you know, grow the brand, show people how different chocolate can be, all at the same 70% level. So I'm not saying that they're going to be the same 3 forever, but you know, I would look to grow it. But at the moment, it's, you know, we crack on what we've got.
Like, you made a decision to have like a really small core range, and not to just like try everything.
Yeah.
And when I was making chocolate, I would literally try every bean that I could find.
That's one of the exciting things, though, to see, you know, explore different things. But you know, I knew if we did too much, the message, what we were trying to convey with our brand, might get confused. But having 1, 2, and 3, people can be like, oh, I like number 2 more, number 3. It makes it really easy to compare and contrast. But you know, limited releases are definitely something we're looking to do. But you know, these are the 3 that we started off with, and they have become the sort of core range for us.
Cool. So after you've sorted the beans, then what do you do?
Then we go to the roasting process. So we haven't got a fancy, you know, coffee roaster that's been converted. Literally perforated trays, you know, straight into the oven. Yeah. So it's an old commercial convection oven. You know, we use trays like this, so they're being perforated, so we can get an even heat distribution on there. You know, and then after they've been, for me anyway, roasting is a key flavour driver. Not only does it make sure it's safe to eat, but it, you know, it's a key process in developing the flavour for our chocolate. I won't go too much into the roasting process because it might give too much away. But,
so you're not going to give us details of all your roasting profiles? And...
Not too much, no, I won't go into that detail. But, you know, what I will say is, you know, it is, for me, that's one of the main flavour drivers. So.
Can you say, do they vary a lot between bath 1, 2 and 3?
Yeah, well, there's different roast times. I mean, it's just tweaking until you get what you want from the bean. And, you know, it does take, you'll know as well, it takes time to get that roast profile out. But when you've got a, you know, it's a nice, you know what
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and then you can replicate that. And then when the new harvest comes in, you've got to. I made the mistake once of just doing the same when I very first started 3 years ago. I just got the new harvest and I just roasted it the same as they think, you know, it'll be fine. And then the flavour was so completely different that I didn't like it. And we ended up making brownies out of it, I think, and eating it that way. But I did a re-roast, but I managed to replicate close enough to what we were doing the year before. So, you know, with every harvest, you are going to have different roasts, but that was a learning curve for me 3 years ago.
So every time you get a new batch of beans in, you'll do some tests
and see, until we get the flavours that we want out of the bean. And, you know, as a chocolate maker, that's your job. It's, well, what we do with chocolate anyway is, you know, is to showcase the beans in their best ability. And, you know, everyone's got their own flavour profiles, but what we look for is we want that bit of fruitiness and them sort of flavours coming in, but we also want some of the more deeper notes as well. So when you put it in your mouth, you kind of got a journey that it takes you on. So for us, that's roasting, and there's other processes as well that come into that, but roasting is a key part of that.
Cool.
So breaking and winnowing, as if some of you are chocolate, you'll know this is a messy process. In our first unit we did this, it was just one big room, so, you know, dust was getting everywhere. So when we got this new space, a key thing was to have a room that was self-contained, so when we do break the cocoa beans, you know, dust isn't going all over the place. So we've got this little room here, so we've got a cocoa breaker and a winnower. These two do the job there. You've got breaking, which smashes into the beans into pieces, and then we separate the husk from the nib using this winnower. So one of the, obviously after we've winnowed, we're left with a nib which we use to make the chocolate with, which will take you into the grinding and conch room in a second. But some of the husk we give away to some local businesses to do exciting collaborations. So we've recently given some to a candle company. They made a cocoa flavoured candle, which is pretty cool. So, you know, there's different things there. Other people have tried. I think someone tried to make cocoa moonshine with it once as well, which I feel like a hillbilly drinking that stuff, but it is like rocket fuel. But, you know, it's just nice to see what people can do. But mostly it ends up on a compost thing. We try not to bin it because it, you know, it is a byproduct, and we want to make sure everything gets used in the process. But I'll take you through to the grinding and conching room. We'll see Paul in action. Here he is, the main man. So, interesting story about this. Dom, do you want to tell us about...
So, this here is my old cocoa town that I sold to Max when I closed Damson. And it's really good to see it being used. And
it's the star of the show. It's got a good view of the food hall.
Chocolate. So yeah, you've got the window here, so people can see it in action. Nice and clean.
People coming in, see it, looking through the window.
So what are you making today?
So at the moment, this is 80. So Paul just started loading the nibs in now. You know, we do a 72-hour con, so 3 days it'll be in there, and day 2 we'll add sugar and a little bit of cocoa butter as well, and it'll be left in there for 3 days, you know, to evaporate a lot of the acidic notes. So we've got a nice tasting chocolate, and also it's got a good mouthfeel as well. So that's it. So Paul's been 3 weeks. He's been in charge of this process. So we're testing it. Well, I didn't even. I tried chocolate. I think it's very good. And the ultimate test, Dormouse was doing a tasting last night, 10 different bars, and they wanted our bars to go in. So I sent Paul's first batch off, and they ended up winning #1 bar, didn't it, Paul? Tied. So he was on the champagne last night. He got the job. So tempering, you know, there's books on this. I'm sure all your chocolatiers are aware of, you know, different methods. We've been blessed with this gift, which is a Selmy, so it makes the whole process a hell of a lot easier. So we can load it and set it to the right temperature we want to temper at. And then it's also got a volumetric dispenser, so we can actually deposit exactly the grams. So it's not messy.
So you don't have to weigh stuff out.
No waste. You know, you don't have to keep it. It gets deposited, vibrating table levels out, and then because we are on a river, there's a lot of humidity, and that's generated. And when I very first started, I had a very big issue with when it was in the summer, the streaks on the bars were coming from, and I couldn't for the life of me. I was trying to work out what was going on because I was doing it all what I thought was right, but it turns out it was the humidity from the river in the heat which was causing these marks. So we invested in this, which is a chocolate fridge, and you can actually control the humidity in this, so we can set it to a certain level. And since we've got it, every single bar has, it's been a very consistent temper on it. We get a nice sheen. So that's another godsend, because it can be very frustrating. And I'm sure you're aware that.
I've been there. I think most chocolate makers
yeah,
have been there, where you go through the whole process and then
melt it down again, and keep going, and it can be very frustrating. So anybody that's near a river that's got humidity issues, get yourself an everlasting chocolate fridge. The final step, which is wrapping, is probably, so even though Paul's taken over some of the chocolate making steps there, and we've got 5 members of staff in the cafe now, for some reason I'm the only one that can still wrap, and maybe we need to have some lessons on that. Or
is that because you're a perfectionist?
I don't know if it's because I'm a perfectionist, but it's one of the pros, because it's such, even though the price is up, it's quite expensive for a bar of chocolate. But if you appreciate fine chocolate, it's reasonable. But if a normal consumer sees a bar of chocolate like that, if it isn't packaged properly and it doesn't look perfect, it's like people might say it's a craft product. No, it's it is a craft product, but we want it to be the best that it can be. And you don't put all that work into something and then for it not to be presented properly. So it needs to be wrapped tight, and the stickers need to be straight. So if anybody fancies getting stuck in and helping us wrap some chocolate bars, Christmas time especially, come and give me a ring.
So Max is going to make me a hot chocolate.
So I am a chocolate maker, not a barista, so don't judge me on my skills. So we use local milk, our cow molly. That's it. Get your milk in there. And I'll make you a milk chocolate, but our house milk, so this is the Ecuadorian stuff, but we actually, when you mature chocolate, like I'm sure you're aware, it kind of, because it's not being tempered, after about 3 or 4 weeks it goes into like a powdery state, so we actually blitz that and use it, we call it ground chocolate, and we use it in all of our drink, like if it is a mocha or a hot chocolate. We'll put 3 scoops in, which is around 30 grams.
So this is just literally your untempered chocolate.
Yeah.
There
we go. So ground chocolate. So this is our 50% dark milk. So you've loaded it up, and then come over to the coffee machine. You want to get on the steam one there, and then we'll just, by the time the milk's heated, because the chocolate's untempered, it will have melted into the. There we go. Clean your coffee machine because you don't want to leave a mess.
Pretty simple to do when you've got the right equipment.
That's it. And then, if there's any chocolate left there, just give it a quick stir just to make sure all the chocolate's fully bound into the milk. So it's nice and thick. And we'll get a mug.
Good.
There we go.
Excellent. So, what do we have here?
So we've got the salted caramel brownie with some nibs on top. We've got a ginger biscuit sandwich, so 2 ginger biscuits with a Bullion ganache in the middle, and then you've got your 50% dark milk hot chocolate.
Excellent.
Good texture. I'm going to rate you. Oh yeah, that's good.
It's super dense, isn't it?
It's dense, but it's amazing flavour. That kind of, yeah, really soft, and yeah, it's just like a proper kind of
chewy, squidgy brownie. That's pretty good. Yeah. So let's try this. Tell me about this.
So you get 2 mini biscuits with a ganache in the middle. You can stick into that.
How do you eat this? Is there like a method for eating this?
Take a bit, like you're having a sandwich.
Oh yeah. I was worried it was going to be like a hard, crunchy thing and like shatter everywhere, but it's like really soft and
Now the beauty of that Ecuadorian chocolate is so versatile.
amazing.
It lends itself to a lot of different bakes.
This is really, really amazing. It's fantastic.
It's you know, I think I was saying this to my friend the other day actually that if we were to open our own chocolate factory with a coffee shop on the side, I think it would have done well, but it would have been, you know, it'd have been a nice thing. But here, being this shared space, it's kind of everyone together is an attraction. You know, people like eating this way, so you know we necessarily don't do that many. I mean, our bars are all gluten free and stuff, but we don't do any gluten free baked goods. So you know, and our next door neighbour specialises in gluten free baked goods. So you know, people, large groups of people can come in, and there's something for everyone. And it's introducing our product to loads of new customers every day because it's, you know, if somebody was into bean to bar chocolate, they might come and visit us and make the trip like you have today to our space. But there's people coming here anyway, and then we can actually talk to them and tell them about what we're doing. So it's a tool to basically showcase bean to bar and what we're doing with chocolate. When we launched the factory, I gave each of the vendors a kilo of chocolate and said, on my opening night, I want you guys to do a Bullion special. The chocolate's free of charge, but I want to see what you guys can do with it. So we had the sushi bar upstairs was doing chocolate sweet sushi rolls that I'd never seen before. We had the Fin and Bone, the meat guys, did a venison with a chocolate and pork sauce. You know, people were using our chocolate, and it was a real nice way of collaborating. But yeah, like in terms of product collaborations, we did a chocolate stout with someone. We've been playing with that cocoa moonshine, the candles. You know, there's loads of things that we work on. It's a nice. You know, everybody's really nice around here as well. It's which is a nice thing. Yeah. It's everybody's helping each other grow as a business. So.
So we have taken a drive out to Bakewell, home of the original Bakewell pudding, which is pretty good. So Max, thank you for having me today. It's been pretty good. It's been fascinating. So you've shown me around the factory. What's your future plans and hopes for Bullion?
So I mean, this whole cafe side of this is relatively new, but I can see how that could be grown. You know, obviously, it's, the more that grows, the more equipment we're going to need to make more chocolate. You know, we're only in the UK at the moment, really, so it would be nice to maybe start exporting as well. You know, it's one of the things because it's all a bit of a journey, really, isn't it? Just seeing how far you can take.
Seeing which directions it
yeah,
kind
just
of goes
roll naturally.
as well.
Yeah, it's like a natural thing. And you know, if we do something, you know, we are doing these plated desserts now. We've met this. So we're doing the day bakes at the moment, which are going down well. But we've met this guy who he's been working at the 5th best restaurant in the world as head pastry chef at Restaurant Central in Peru. It's called Callahan. You know, to have our chocolate, even though we're not obviously a Michelin star, but to be someone of that caliber using our chocolate and being able to serve it in our outlet is just amazing. So you never know where that's going to take us. So, but everything we do, we kind of try to do the best we can with it. And you know, we didn't know we were going to have a cafe. You know, 6 months ago. Sorry, about 7 months ago. Then Cutlery Works happened, and then we didn't know we were going to have a sort of bakery and slash dessert outfit. You know, 6 weeks ago, and now we met Callahan. So you know, we just keep rolling with it and seeing where it takes us.
What opportunities are.
We've got a product that we're passionate about, and you know, and it's opening doors. So just hopefully keep opening the right ones.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you again.
No worries. Thank you very much for coming on.
Carry on enjoying my Bakewell pudding. All right.
Thank you.